It's 4:30. This is WKYT this morning. A 2-year-old has died after an ATV crash in Owen County. What neighbors are saying about the crash just ahead this morning.
2 more suspects, both wanted in connection to 2 different Lee County murders, are in jail this morning. We'll have more on their arrests coming up.
And members of a group that won a governor's award in the arts say they don't want it. The reason why and your weather forecast on WKYT this morning.
This is WKYT This Morning.
Good morning. So nice to have you with us on this Tuesday as we get this new day off and rolling. I'm Bill Bryant.
I'm Rebecca Smith. Let's check out what's happening in the weather department on this Tuesday with Micah.
Yeah, it looks pretty dry as of right now. Now, as we travel off through the afternoon, here comes some more showers, thunderstorms, where some see the rain, some do not. This is a little better opportunity for today, as that front is creeping toward us from the west. 75 degrees right now in Frankfort. 73 now in Richmond and Lexington. Now we travel in toward the afternoon. Like I said, storms will be around mid-80s. Temperatures are slowly dropping each and every single day, and we even have some 70s in the forecast. That's not for your lows, that's for your highs. I'll show you when that comes in just a few minutes.
Okay, we'll see you shortly. Thank you. In the news, a 2-year-old boy has died after an ATV crash in Owen County.
State police say the crash happened Sunday night at the intersection of Georgetown Road and Greenup Road. Police say the child was on the ATV with 2 other people at the time. WKYT's Monique Blair talked to some people living nearby who tried to help the boy.
Kind of like clenched and closed my eyes.
Brianna Renfro watched in horror as an ATV carrying 2 adults and a child overturned Sunday evening just near her front yard.
It's like really emotional just seeing everything, and really broke my heart for the mother.
Neighbors who live right around here tell me they watched as the ATV was driving here on 845 and then turned left here onto 227. They tell me the roads out here were pretty wet because it had just rained and that the ATV was not moving very fast at all.
Kentucky State Police say a 27-year-old man named Spencer Lawson was driving the ATV. Police say a 24-year-old woman and a 2-year-old boy were both passengers. Police say the woman suffered serious injuries and the toddler was pronounced dead at a local hospital. Renfro says many neighbors immediately tried to help.
A lot of the neighbors who ran over to help, they were all, crying, and they're helping as much as possible, controlling the traffic and trying to keep everybody from seeing everything.
Renfro says she noticed how slow the ATV was moving and she believes the roads were the main factor for the accident.
The slant that comes off of 845 onto this road, it's pretty significant. So when they went around there and the wet roads being part of that, there was really no hope. They were being really safe about it though.
The Owen County coroner has not yet released the name of the child. In Owen County, Monique Blair, WKYT.
State police say toxicology results are pending for the driver of the ATV.
State police say 2 suspects wanted in connection to a Lee County murder case are in jail this morning. Police say they arrested 39-year-old Jay Shoemaker and 22-year-old Reagan Griffin last night on Rocklick Road in Breathitt County. Police say both now face complicity charges for the murder of Billy Roark. They say Roark and James Brown were both shot to death earlier this month in separate incidents in Lee County. 4 other people have also been arrested in connection to those murders. State police are asking for help in finding a wanted man. They say 39-year-old Michael Grubb of Jeffersonville, Indiana, faces multiple charges, including kidnapping, arson, robbery, wanton endangerment, and animal cruelty. Police say they think Grubb is armed and dangerous. They say 45-year-old Kirsten Edmondson of Taylorsville is likely with him. Police say she is possibly being held against her will, and they're worried about her welfare.
Frankfort police say a small dog helped them find a suspect who ran away from them when police pulled over 32-year-old Heriberto Hernandez over the weekend. They say he was under the influence and appeared to have marijuana with him. When they tried to arrest him, they say he ran off. Nearby police say they heard Patrick O'Neill's dog Titan barking. O'Neill says he then gave police permission to check in his backyard.
That's where he was hiding out until Titan ran him out. And then he took off from around there.
Police say when they caught Hernandez, he punched an officer in the face and put the officer in a chokehold. Hernandez is now facing several charges, including assault of a police officer and resisting arrest. Two Kentucky men who spent more than 20 years in prison for what prosecutors called a satanic ritual killing have been released on bond. Both Jeff Clark and Keith Harden walked out of the Meade County Jail yesterday afternoon. They were convicted in the 1992 murder of 19-year-old Rhonda Warford of Louisville. Earlier this summer, a Meade County judge threw out the murder conviction, saying new DNA evidence created doubt in the case against the two men. He said they deserved a new trial. Yesterday, the same judge set a $5,000 cash bond for each man.
People don't understand what it feels like to have your life taken from you for nothing. You know, like I said, it's not over with yet.
Both men were released from jail on the conditions they stay in Kentucky and have not have contact with each other or the victim's family. Prosecutors say they will seek a second trial.
We're learning some more about a Magoffin County woman who died in a fire at her home. The fire started Sunday at a home on Rock House Road in Salyersville. Investigators think 58-year-old Pansy Howard was smoking in bed near an oxygen tank. They say that sparked the fire. Firefighters were not able to save her. Family members say Howard was bedridden and had battled many health problems.
She's a good person. She'd give you anything you needed. She'd give you a shirt off her back. She just, kind of poor health, but she fit through a lot.
Firefighters say the fire also destroyed much of the house. They say Howard's body was taken to the medical examiner's office for an autopsy. A contract awarded by Governor Bevin to investigate former Governor Steve Beshear's administration has survived a legal challenge. The State Government Contract Review Committee did not have enough votes to recommend canceling the $500,000 contract. Governor Bevin has hired an Indiana law firm to investigate what he called corruption in the Beshear administration. Beshear has denied doing anything wrong. Governor Bevin's administration has announced the winners of this year's Governor's Awards in the arts.
But members of a group who won the award say they do not want it. The Appalachian Poets rejected the Community Arts Award. WKYT's Garrett Weimer talked to some of the group's members to find out why.
It took the Appalachian Poets only a day and a thread of emails to decide to turn down their award from the governor.
It was an easy decision for us to make, I think. And anybody in disagreement with us who are angry about it have never read our work. Yeah. Who, they should not be, if they read our work, they would not be surprised that we would take that position.
The group posted their reasoning on Facebook, denouncing Governor Bevin's actions and positions on issues like arts education, health care, and criminal justice reform. The writers say they have not heard from the governor's office, but in the days since announcing their decision, they have gotten a lot of feedback.
Poetry is about community, and poetry is about people learning to speak to each other about what matters to them. In that sense, the response to this has really reinforced that core belief of the group.
A spokesperson for the Tourism, Arts, and Heritage Cabinet tells me that to their knowledge, this is the first time someone has rejected an award. I'm told there will not be a replacement named for the ceremony held here at the Capitol in October.
There are members of the group who would have, I'm pretty sure, would have felt like we sold out if we accepted the award.
In Frankfort, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
A spokesperson for the governor's office has not responded to our request for comment on this particular story.
Our time is 4:39 on WKYT this morning. Hey, we're just getting started. Good to have you with us on this Tuesday, a brand new day on the way.
Do you feel like you need to make your home feel bigger? Coming up after the break, we'll show you how you can do that.
We do have some rain on the way. The cold front will slide on in here in the next couple of days, and you'll bring scattered showers and thunderstorms along with it. I'll show you when you can expect those coming up next.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with meteorologist Micah Harris.
Showers still back toward the Louisville region, not so much in our neck of the woods. So what we're going to be looking at is that front getting a little bit closer, and once it does, it'll spark off some showers and thunderstorms. Some of us saw some pretty good rain yesterday. Places over in eastern Kentucky, a few locations actually picked up just over 2 inches of rain. Some of us didn't see a drop. I didn't see any at my house once again yesterday, but that's going to be the case again today. Some see the rain, some do not. The front, like I said, is back toward our west. It's getting better. It's getting closer, okay? It's been sitting there for about 4 to 5 days now, and that's why you see flash flood warnings all along there, up toward even Michigan, as you get up toward that low pressure system. So They've been dealing with some nasty rain. Us, we won't deal with extremely nasty rain, but it's going to be like yesterday where if you get under one thunderstorm after another, then you're talking about some heavy downpours and adding up in that rainfall gauge. 75 degrees there in Frankfort, 73 here in Lexington. And we travel through your day, we'll have some showers and thunderstorms in the forecast. And remember, it's a 60% chance of rain. That means 40% of us will not see rain. So don't absolutely expect rain 100%. It's not like that. It's hit and miss again. That's the way it's going to go the next couple of days. And that'll take you off into the night and into tomorrow morning. I'll walk you through it hour by hour with your high-resolution model. Crosses over 65 here later this morning, and then slowly nudges its way off into our western zones there by noontime. So central, west, roughly noontime, and then it starts to spread over toward the east and toward the southeast. So that's just the way it's going to be, but obviously, look north, you see bits and pieces. You look south, you don't see much at all during that period, during that time. That's the way it's going to be, and that's today and tomorrow as that front slowly makes its way through. Not fast, it's slow, which means it'll keep that chance of rain up pretty well the next couple of days. Thursday and Friday, not great chances of rain, but a storm or two will be possible. Those are your driest days in the forecast, and you can see as we travel off towards your weekend, we bump that chance of rain up on Saturday to about 60%. So the weekend doesn't look great, but the numbers do. Look at 81 degrees on Saturday, 80 degrees on Sunday, and then Monday coming in at 79 degrees. So here comes that big front. Not only one, but we have two actually in the forecast. It's going to wipe kind of that humidity, that warm air on out of the way. So that's a good look temperature-wise, but rain-wise, not so much.
Careful how much wiping we do on those temperatures.
Right.
You know, there's a point here, right? Okay, looks good. 444 now. You don't really need a lot of space to make your home beautiful.
In today's Moms Everyday Minute, we have tips for decorating in a small space.
Hi, I'm Andrew Skipper, your local lifestyle expert. Today, I want to talk about 4 principles to think about when designing your small space. The first thing you can do to really change any space, not just small spaces, is to change up the lighting. Lighting is so important in any room, and the truth is most people don't have enough light sources in each room. Every room needs to have about 3 to 5 light sources. The second principle to small space decorating is to keep it clean and clutter-free. It's really important to edit every tabletop surface that you have in your home. The third principle is all about connecting with adjoining rooms. The easiest way to do this is with color. So perhaps there's an adjoining room to your small space that you have a wall painted, maybe a nice maroon or burgundy. Whatever color you have, buy throw pillows of that color and place them in the next room. The fourth principle to think about when decorating a small space is color. Now, many people think that they have to paint a light color and have light-colored furniture if their space is small, but that is not necessarily the case. So if you're decorating a small room, keep in mind these 4 principles and your small space will have big style.
For these tips and more, just go to WKYT.com, click on Moms Every Day.
And we have the latest news and, of course, the updated forecast right there as well on WKYT.com. Great to have you along with us. It's now 4:46 on your Tuesday morning.
Crews continue to work round the clock to try to save people from historic flooding in Louisiana. We've got the latest when we come back on WKYT this morning.
Kentucky mornings start here. You're watching WKYT This Morning.
Welcome back. 4:49 is the time. Rescue crews and volunteers are still working round the clock in Louisiana to try and save people from historic floods.
Yeah, the danger far from over there. Authorities now say at least 7 people have been killed in the flooding, and meteorologists warn that even more rain could be on the way this week. Rachel Crane has the latest.
Thousands of homes that have never flooded before are now underwater.
What can you do? You can't pick up a pail and empty the water out. So you're just more or less in a state of being stunned.
This flooding is unlike anything the people in Louisiana have ever seen.
It was going to be bad, but we didn't think it was going to be nothing like this.
More than 20,000 people had to be rescued from their homes and their cars.
Oh my God, I'm drowning.
We're coming.
But when disaster strikes, the human spirit prevails.
First instinct was just to get a hold of her and pull her out, and couldn't do it from the boat, so I just jumped in. I was just took a deep breath, held it, and just kept feeling around. And eventually I felt something furry and yanked the dog out, and luckily the dog was still conscious.
But more rain is forecasted to fall, which means more potential for problems.
It's been difficult to get people to leave their homes because they think that they're safe, but you can throw all of the experience out whenever you break the records as we have in Louisiana.
In Baton Rouge, I'm Rachel Crane.
And the American Red Cross says 500 volunteers are on the way to help the flood victims in Louisiana. That includes 2 volunteers from Lexington. The Red Cross says it is the largest disaster response unit that has been going anywhere since Hurricane Sandy in 2012.
A man wanted for a string of crimes in 2 Kentucky counties is now in jail. 33-year-old Billy Caudill was booked into the Madison County Detention Center yesterday after being released from the hospital. On Friday, police tried to arrest Caudill in Clay City, but they say he managed to run off after they handcuffed him. Moments later, police say a car hit him, leaving him injured. Caudill was in the hospital until yesterday. Police say he broke into a Richmond car lot's office last week, and they say he was wanted for escape, fleeing and evading, and wanton endangerment out of Lee County. Investigators now say they know what caused a fire that damaged a Winchester bar and an apartment above it. They say the fire at 21 on Broadway was accidental. They say they think some faulty electrical wires in the apartment caused it. Workers say the bar gave veterans around Winchester a place to hang out and share life experiences with each other.
With us getting together and talking, and it eases our minds a whole lot.
Workers say it will likely cost too much money to fix the damage to the bar. They say it will now be closed.
New this morning, one of Lexington's Applebee's restaurants planning to close in the coming weeks. Our news partners at the Lexington Herald Leader report that the Applebee's on Richmond Road, right in front of Southland Christian Church, will be closing. The manager tells the newspaper the restaurant has lost its lease at that location. An exact closing date has not been determined, but managers say it could be as early as the end of this month. A Tennessee couple is crediting their dog with saving their 18-month-old son's life. The Holloway family says they were sitting on their porch in Sevierville when they noticed the dog, Shiloh, running toward their son, Bryson. They didn't know at the time, but they say Shiloh was protecting the boy from a copperhead snake. The snake bit Shiloh, though, on his jaw.
And then it dawned on me that he literally grabbed that snake from the feet, near the baby's foot.
Shiloh's neck swelled, but they did survive the snake bite. The boy was not hurt. His parents say they're grateful that Shiloh jumped into action to protect the boy, and he has now become the family hero. Understandably, right?
Yes, and a good name, right, Shiloh?
Yeah, there you go. Coming up next, we'll have a look at some of the stories our news team is working on for you this Tuesday morning.
We'll also have another look at your morning forecast.
Time now, 4:56 on WKYT this morning.
Let's take a look right now at some of the stories we're working on for you at this hour.
Today, a U.S. attorney will announce the latest efforts to combat the widespread supply of heroin and fentanyl in eastern Kentucky. We'll have more on that coming up in our next half hour.
And 2 people from Lexington are among the hundreds of volunteers headed to Louisiana to help with devastating flooding. The latest on the situation there on WKYT this morning.
Micah will be keeping us up to date on weather throughout the morning. Let's check in with him.
Yeah, and it looks like they're in the morning hours once again. We're pretty calm, pretty quiet. You get into the afternoon, and here comes that front getting a little bit closer. Not only the front, but also you get the daytime heating. So afternoon, that front should be in western Kentucky, and then you get that afternoon heating, and boom, those two together with that forcing around just doesn't lead to good things. So it's going to look for some showers and some thunderstorms. Some will be heavy rain, and not only that, but we have a very, very small risk of severe weather for today. Not everybody will see that, but maybe an isolated cell that we're going to be looking toward and towards your afternoon and evening hours. Now, this front doesn't really push through very fast. It'll give us that chance of rain for tomorrow as well. So that's going to be something we're going to be watching out for. We'll have that coming up.